Hey guys, welcome back to my Ocarina of Time 80% tutorial series. I just want to quickly apologize for not having done the rest of this tutorial series very quickly. I just have a full course load in summer school and university right now, so I've just been really busy with that. But anyway, back to the tutorial. This video will be part 1 of a 3-part series covering the Deku Tree. It'll cover B1 and Scrubs, because I wanted to focus on all the tricks in the Deku Tree that are so complex kind of individually. So this one will be B1 and Scrubs, next one will be Goma and what to do if you're doing the double KO strat, and finally the last video will be Wrong Warp, because I wanted to go really in depth on Wrong Warp as well. So the first thing you want to do is you want to run over to this little Deku Baba and kill it by doing a quick draw. Now what is a quick draw? Well, you're just really rather than stabbing and jump slashing like that, you're pulling out your sword and jump slashing in one motion like this. It saves a bit of time, and it's kind of useful to learn for the West and just other strategies like that. Wow, I'm being stupid. I'm not getting it right now because I'm overthinking it, but all you're really doing is just pressing B and A really quickly like that. Anyway, so you go and kill this Deku Baba and you click the Deku Nuts, and from here, now would be a good time to equip your Deku Stick and your Deku Nuts. And the reason you're doing that is because you need to avoid a little text trigger that's over here. And so notice I just pulled out a Deku Stick. That's because by pulling out a Deku Stick, I kind of took, that animation took priority over triggering this text box that is right here. And this text box is just Navi saying, hey, you can climb these vines. Some people like to prefer to walk up to the text box and then equip. I like to do that as well, just because it's kind of easy to walk over, unpause, and then quickly tap C down or whatever other button you have stick assigned to. So it's really simple. He puts the stick away himself. You don't need to do anything. You just literally just tap the stick button. Link pulls it out as you're holding forward and walking towards the vines, and you know, it's that simple. Like, I'll show you one more time. I'm actually not used to doing it far away, so hopefully I don't mess it up, but like this. Yeah, so you just tap the stick once. You can see my inputs. It was really simple. And I'm going to make my way up to the top of these vines. Now from here, there's 3 different B1 methods, and I'm going to cover the easiest one first, and I'll get back to the kind of ISG B1 later. So the first thing you want to do is when you're approaching this area, the text box trigger can occur again over here. Again, you know, it's just Navi saying, hey, you've never climbed vines before, you can do it. So what you want to do is you want to back walk and backflip and then jump over here, just to kind of jump over the trigger. Alright, so from here, you're going to have these little Skulltulas chasing you. And if you're lucky, they won't be looking at you at all. Like if I'm moving through, I can get lucky and they're not going to chase me at all. But unfortunately, this time around, they did. And so you can tell you've caught their attention if they turn purple. And what you want to do is what I just did there, is catch their attention, move for a bit, and then stop, so that they chase you for like a second, but don't move a lot like that, and allow you to move forward. This takes a lot of practice. It's something that like you have to kind of fiddle with, but like it's really useful, because if they chase you, once they're done chasing you, they turn around completely. So like, see how he turns around? And that allows me to just go all the way up the vines. So it's a little useful method, and it does take some practice. And if you're lucky, you don't have to do it at all. So here's the first B1 skip method. I'm going to show you a really quick video of it, and then I'm going to go in depth on how you have to do it. So here it is, guys. Alright guys, so you just saw the B1 skip in action. Now I'm going to show you all the moves that you do to set it up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to be getting in this corner. I didn't kind of explain that before, but basically like you want to move into this little area here. You can roll just to make sure you're in the right position. And then you're going to Z target, and from there you're going to backflip and drop a Deku Nut really quickly. Side up to the left, backflip and press B to pull out your sword, jump slash, and then holding R do a backflip. Whoa, I took way too long to do that. You can see why you're doing the Deku Nut, because it's just stun that guy. So backflip, Deku Nut, side up to the left, backflip, press sword, and then R. Jump slash and backflip. And bam, you are in the right spot to do the trick. Like so. So the arguably harder part is not the kind of initial setup, oops. It's actually kind of side hopping and slashing on the right frame. So the best way to explain where to side hop would be to do, kind of show it buffered. So this is the correct frame to do the side hop. Now the way to tell that is basically, do you see how the hearts are to the just below the bridge, like the 3 hearts? That's how you can tell that you're on the right frame. So when I'm doing this trick unbuffered, I'm actually sitting there being like, okay, side hop to the left. All right, you know, so like I'm looking at the hearts go underneath the bridge and then side hopping to the left in kind of real time. So that's how you can tell. So notice if I do a side hop now, it'll put me in the right position. And now this is the right frame to do the slash. There is also a frame just below this frame, which is this one. Wow, the pause buffering is going well. That you can also do the slash. Now, how can I tell that these are the right frames? Well, basically there's a web that kind of, like, I'm trying to explain this the best. If this water ball is the wall, like, there's the web that kind of meets on a corner that connects to the water bottle. And you want to be below where it meets. So if this is the point where it meets, like right here, you know, like, if that makes sense, you want to be below it, so like anywhere below that area. So right now, like, we can't see where the web is meeting the wall because we're below it just 1 or 2 frames, and that's how we're in the right position. I'll try to show you what I mean. I got pretty lucky there with the pause buffering because I am terrible at pause buffering VC, so that saved a lot of time. So okay, no, this is way too early. Try to move down a bit more. Okay, you're starting to see, let me just go down even more. Okay, you see how the web is meeting the wall? Like, if you look where the 9 is on the decunuts and just go directly up, you can see that, the edge of the web is touching the wall, right? So we want it to be just below this. So if we pause buffer a bit more, see, now we're just below it. If I slash B, I make it. So that's what you're looking for. Just the web is touching the wall. You want to be just below that. And the other thing is the hearts want to be just below the bridge. And that's really it. It's that simple. You can just, from there, slash, oops, I wasn't on the right frame. Forgot about that. Oh my gosh, this is just, how do you get used to that? I'm going to just do the whole trick again just so I can get up there. The final part of the B1 skip. So, like, when I'm doing it unbuffered, again, I'm just looking for the bridge, like so, and then I'm looking for the little thing to cross over. And then from here, I just backflip and side hop, and you make your way down because the web is unloaded because you kind of fell so far it didn't think to load that part. And that's really how you do it. I'll now show you the next method. That's a bit faster, but I find a bit more difficult, so I don't actually do it. But check it out now. This is how to do the next method of B1 skip. Alright guys, so you just saw the B1 skip method, like the better B1 skip, I guess you could say, that starts over here. All you're doing is side hopping 4 times to the left, and then you're kind of lining up here like this. I'm just going to make a save state here. It's pretty simple. You just line up, you side hop 4 times to the left and then hit up, and you want to be kind of vaguely in the center like this. From there, you press R and stab once, then drop a decunut as quick as you can. Then you just backflip twice, and you do similar frames that you did before. I personally find that this trick is like not as consistent for me, which makes me kind of wonder that, like, I don't know if it's exactly the same frames. I still am looking for the kind of bridge to be underneath and everything, but I mess it up more often. So some people might find this easier. Certainly the movement prior to doing the side hop is a lot easier, like a lot easier. But I mess it up more often, so I don't really like it as much. But it is a bit faster, if only by like a few seconds. And it's basically the same. You still do a backflip and side hop, and you can still do the same scrub strats that you would do for the other B1. So that's it, really quickly explained. I just wanted to point out in the other explanation of B1, I didn't explain that, like, even though I said like it's like below where the corners meet, it's only a 2-frame trick. So like it's 2 frames below where the thing meets, and then after that, all the frames like below that, like say way down here. Actually, that would work. I didn't wait enough time, but you know what I mean. Like if you go over here and you backflip and do this stuff, you backflip again, and you get the right thing. It's like this is the right frame, but like this is not the right frame. There's only a 2-frame window. If you were to slash here, you wouldn't even hit anything. So it's not all below it. It's just the 2 frames below it. Just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, that's the other method of B1 skip. Very similar, kind of looking for the same visual cues. Just you set it up a bit faster, and the kind of movement is a bit different. So now on to ISG B1, which is significantly more difficult and also very different. Here it is, guys. This is what the ISG B1 looks like. Alright guys, so you just saw the ISG B1 skip, or the Skater B1 skip, whatever you want to call it. It was found by Skater, and it's a very interesting strategy. The one thing about this trick is it requires better understanding. It's okay, there's a few reasons I don't like attempting it. One, it's a lot harder on VC. I just need to kind of clarify that. That's why I don't do it, because you need to have a perfect diagonal left, and the diagonals on VC are a bit different. So this is emulator, and it's a lot easier to do on emulator, but on VC it's more tricky. The second thing is, if you mess up the trick, like I'll load a save state where you go, where you're kind of starting the trick. If you mess up the hop, I didn't. Like say I like fell here. I had to actually purposely mess it up. Like now you have to make your way all the way back up there, remove the text trigger. Like it would waste like 25 seconds, as opposed to if you mess up the other B1, you just have to do the B1 backup, and if you know how to do that quickly, it's a lot easier. So basically this trick comes with a lot of risk, and it's kind of more technically demanding. So it also messes up the way you do scrubs. So if you're going to do this trick, I would only recommend this trick if you want to, if one, you're not playing on VC, because it's still possible on VC, obviously. Skater plays VC, and he's the one who found it. But it's just more difficult, and it's not that beneficial. That's my kind of little disclaimer. Anyway, there's two techniques that you need to do this trick with, so I'm going to break it down first. This is ISG. This is how you do ISG. Basically, ISG is you stab and then interrupt it with the text box like so. So, really quickly, if you press R, by the way, you'll cancel ISG, so keep that in mind. So, stab and then you hit like Z target and C up to interrupt it with the text box. And what this does is it allows it so that you can't walk off the edge. And this is useful because you need to be able to hover. Basically, when Link is swinging his sword, it's programmed so that he can't fall off the edge. And it allows you to hover if you kind of interrupt damage in the middle of the air. It also allows you to swing your sword infinitely, and you use it throughout the run. So this is an important technique to learn. The second one is this little side hop, backward side hop thing, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. Alright guys, the second technique you need to understand how to do is the backward side hop. It looks like this. Oops. Like this. Yeah, and it allows you to kind of shoot backwards and get in the position that you need to do to break the web. This is, to me, this might sound silly, but the hardest part of the trick. Some people might not find this the tricky part, but like, it's just kind of an awkward movement, and like, the other kind of aspects of the trick are very similar to just kind of like side hopping, slashing, or whatever at a specific frame. So that's not too bad. But this movement can be kind of finicky, and like I said before, if you mess it up, you'll end up doing something like this, where you fall all the way down and you have to go, you know, back up the vines, and the text trigger is still there. So the one good thing about it, however, is that you can practice this movement anywhere. You don't actually have to be in the position. Like obviously, if you have an emulator, you can just go down and practice it like on site, like over here, and try to get it to work like that. But if you wanted, you could, say you messed up, oh, I got it again. Say if you purposely mess up like that, and you fall down, you can just practice it down here and get better at it. And what the movement is, I still haven't explained, is you basically hold slightly down so that Link kind of does this sort of slow back thing. You don't want to be back walking like that. You just want to be very lightly touching down. And then when you press A, Link should do a side roll to the right. That's how you know you got it. Then from there, you're going to hold sort of down, very slightly down right, but mostly down, and hit A again, and you'll do the side hop like that. And you can tell you got it. See, like that was it incorrectly. You can tell you have it if Link kind of goes towards you, and you can tell you didn't get it if Link, like that was it again. If Link kind of goes towards you, you got it. If Link kind of goes towards you but to the left or right, I mean to the right, sorry, that means you don't have it. So just let me show you here. See what I mean by finding this movement finicky? Especially off. There we go. So that's it again. Oh, I forgot about the text trigger. Yeah, like that. See, like I said, I really just do not like this trick. That would be incorrect again. That would be incorrect. That would be correct. I think you guys get the idea. Basically, it's just holding slightly down. You can practice this literally anywhere. It does not have to be in the Deku tree. And then, you know, when you're actually doing the trick, you know, it looks like this. I seem to find it easier when I'm actually doing it. I messed up the angle. Anyway, so that's how you do the backward side hop, and now I'm going to show you guys the entire trick kind of put together and all the little positioning stuff. So here comes the positioning. Alright guys, there's one more piece of the trick that I forgot to mention. I know I was going to say that we're going to show the whole trick in full, but the last part that I need to show you guys is the actual frame finding and where to slash and lock your angle. So after you've done the backward side hop like so, again like I said, I hate that part of the trick. So you're falling down. As soon as you've broken the web, you want to hold up left and lock your camera like this. Now you'll notice like right now, Link's camera is completely like unlocked. He could like do whatever. He's just hovering in the middle of the air. As soon as you press Z though, you can no longer unlock your camera. So once you've fallen, as soon as you've broken the web, you want to hold up left and lock your camera like so. Then you want to side hop really quickly to the right, and the reason for that is because the web is kind of your visual cue on whether or not you have the right frame. And if you don't side hop quickly enough, you won't be sure that you actually have the correct frame. So right now I have the first frame that you need to do the slash. Notice how it's the B button is just above where the corner is. So before in the other B1 skip you're looking to go below the kind of corner of the web, but here it's like this is the kind of corner and the B button is like right above it at the top here. This is the first frame that'll work, and so if I were to let go and mash B and slash, it'll work. The second frame, oh I forgot to make a save state there, my bad. The second frame, let's hope that I can get it, is this frame right here. So notice it's kind of like the B button is level with the, with where the web meets. So if I were to mash B here, it would work again. So it's like you can see, it's a 2-frame trick. The first frame is where the B button is above and in line with the kind of corner like this, and then the second one is where it's kind of meeting where the corner meets, like that, if that makes sense. I can't do both hands. Yeah, and basically you just kind of mash there. So if you're doing it really quickly, it would look like this. Oh wait, I have to start the save state again. Sorry that this is kind of such a ragtag explanation. It's not very quick. I don't do, like I said before, I don't do this trick as much, so I'm not nearly as practiced. But basically like this. Gosh, it's because I held up left too late. There you go. So that's the trick. The only other thing I would say is you want to kind of pull back a bit and side hop, because the normal backflip slash side hop to the left thing doesn't work how you'd want it to, so it ends up just causing you problems. So that's the trick. I will now show it to you in full, but there's like I said, there's a lot of little things. Oh, one last thing. Make sure that you have the angle. I'm gonna actually show the frames and what they look like, and that way you can compare that if you're holding up left and it's not giving you the correct angle, like it's not giving you those frames, it doesn't look like this. You might either want to try switching controllers, or if you're on VC, that's kind of like try switching the angle a bit, because it's not up left, it's kind of a bit farther down. The reason for that is, at least with GameCube controllers, sometimes the diagonals can get all worn out. So when I was first learning this trick, I was using a really old GameCube controller, and it actually like wasn't working for me. Like when I was holding up left, it just didn't work at all. And then only when I like got a new controller was it suddenly easy for me, and I realized like, oh no, this is the problem. So that's something to consider. Like the angle really matters. Like if you are on emulator or any other thing, make sure you're holding up left. If you're on VC, try to work at the angle. I don't know exactly what it is. Not paying attention here, but yeah, that's how you do that. That's just kind of my little disclaimer. Other than that, I'll put the frames in there, and here's the trick in full as explained by me. Alright, so now we're ready to do the entire trick in full. I know I made this sound probably a lot more difficult than it actually is. I just personally find this trick a little frustrating. So you go around the text trigger, you make your way up the vines, and you're going all the way up, and you're trying to line up between these two little what's it called, rectangles. Then you move twice to the right, hold Z and R, drop down, do the backward side hop, hold up left as you land, and slash your sword, and then make your way down. And that is the trick in full. It's not too complicated. It does affect how you do the scrub strat afterwards. You're going to land in a different position. And unfortunately, I'm going to say preemptively, I don't know the scrub strat for this B1. I do know it for the other one, the quick one. But unfortunately, you land in a different position, and I'm just not used to it. So Hope that's helpful. Now I'm going to show you guys what happens if you fail any of these strategies by showing you the backup B1 skip. So here is what that looks like. Okay, so if any of these tricks happen to fail and you're not able to do any of the B1 skips, what you can do is line up with this little kind of crease over here in the bottom of the basement, Z-target it and roll so that you're in the right place, and then just backflip twice. Now you notice as I backflipped, Link got pushed to the left. That's how you can tell you have the right angle. Sometimes that won't happen, and that means you have to kind of go over and try to shift the camera a bit, because he should get pushed to the left. Then from there you do a side up to the right, side up to the left, hit C up, and you want to line up the edge of your B button with, you see that black line at the top, like right here? You want to line it up, so I'm going to go a bit to the right, like right there, there's a little black line. That's pretty much in line, and then you're going to press A, Z target, roll once, and then roll and hold up. And there you go, you've done the backup B1 strat. It's pretty simple. The only thing that I think people might have trouble with is, not to insult anybody, but if you're pretty noob, you might have trouble holding exactly up and rolling at the same time, because if Link moves at all before he rolls, he won't be able to do the strat. So I'm trying to be really precise here. Come on. That probably is fine, but I just don't want to waste everyone's time. So yeah, you're rolling once. People might have trouble with the second roll here. So what you can do is just hold up, like pause buffer, hold up, and then let go and press A. And then he'll for sure roll the way you want him to. From that, you just turn around and back walk down and press A. And then slash your sword so you get a bit of a recoil here. And that's that. It doesn't lose that much time. You can still get the scrubs and everything pretty quickly. And it's just a strategy that you can do if your B1 method fails. So now on to the actual scrub strategies. Hope that was helpful, guys. Okay, so the final part of this video will be focusing on the scrub strategies. Now, the way to do scrubs is kind of simple, but I want to explain the more advanced strat and also how kind of the scrubs themselves work. So I'm going to make a save state here. So I think the best way to explain how scrubs works is to show you what, well, the first thing is you want to hit them in the order of 2, 3, 1. That's the most basic part of it. But I'm going to kind of explain, I'm going to show you a video of what good scrubs looks like, and then explain what's happening so that you get an idea of what you're trying to achieve when you're doing scrubs. So here goes, here's what the video looks like. Okay, so you just saw that trick in full time, but here it is slowed down, and I'm going to explain what was happening. So basically, scrubs works by you selectively loading the scrubs in a certain order. So if you notice right there, I loaded the scrub on the right first. That way, by loading that one first, he shoots kind of at the same time the middle one does, so that you're close to the middle one. You get the middle one first, then you can quickly turn to the right, and then the third guy that I'm talking to now didn't load at the same time, so he shoots a bit later. So you can see here again, like this is the repeat. That's why I'm holding up left and rolling towards the scrub on the right, so that both the middle one and that one load, while as the one on the absolute left hasn't loaded yet. Then it's just a matter of getting in the right positioning and being able to actually kind of shield turn really quickly. But that's basically what's happening. One other thing that's worth noting, and you can see kind of why, is that if you have critical health when you do this, you can't actually do this trick because the camera behaves differently. So that's just something to keep in mind. And it's because the scrubs, if the camera's behaving differently, that means that the scrubs themselves will be loaded in a different order. So how scrubs load is basically the proximity and distance of Link towards them, and the camera kind of affects that. If the scrubs are seen off in the distance, they will be loaded and they'll shoot in a different order. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. This applies to all strats, even the casual ones, which I'll show you now. They have their own kind of little technique of loading the scrubs. Alright guys, so now that you've seen how the scrubs behave, I'll show you kind of the casual method as opposed to the advanced one. I'll explain the advanced one in a sec. Basically what I usually do is when I land like this, I head over to the kind of left and then right, so that the last one on the right over there gets triggered, and then I can hit that one. So I'll just show you again, I land, I go from the left all the way over to the right, target this one, target this one, target this one, and then I make my way over. And that's basically the simple method. Now I'll explain to you the advanced method of scrubs, which is significantly harder. Just to show you again, this is what it looks like, not in slow motion or anything. Here you go. Alright guys, so I hope you paid attention to the movement there, because this trick is very precise. It is significantly more difficult than like the other strat, and it only saves a bit of time. So keep that in mind if you're planning on doing this. Did I even get it there? See, it's just very precise. Like, that was almost correct, but I missed it. Basically what you're doing is you're doing 2 rolls kind of to the right by holding up left, and then one roll back to the left so that you're kind of in the center. And how you're doing that is, as you're falling, you're going to hold up left and immediately roll and retarget, and then from there you're going to do a second roll forward, so it looks like this. And then after that roll, like really quickly after that roll, you're going to do another roll up to the left. So see, now you're kind of facing where you want to be. This is too far back, I didn't do the kind of turning, but it all occurs really quickly. So like, and if you space the rolls too much, you're going to end up like actually Z targeting this guy. So it's kind of a pain. You have to be really, really precise with it. Ugh. But it's not that much more complicated than that. It's really just 3 rolls, you know, you're holding up. The only other thing that's worth mentioning is like this kind of place I'm standing right now. It's near a little white texture. You can see I'm kind of close to it. Like, that's pretty much where you want to be standing. But even then, like, it's kind of worth just experimenting with. Yeah, see, like, if you're too close, the guy will disappear. One other thing that I've noticed, I know I'm kind of giving a quick explanation, but how I like to tell that I'm doing the trick correctly, or that I'm in a good position, is I've had the most success when I do a roll, like, immediately after I've landed. And, yeah, see, I went too close again. The cue that I hear is, like, when Link falls, he kind of goes, like, ugh, and, like, that, like, if he, that's such a weird sound to make, sorry, but, like, if he rolls, like, if his roll kind of cancels that sound, I feel like I've done the trick on pace. I'm not shield turning. I have to pay attention when I do this trick. So, like this, like, if he kind of, that was too slow to me, like, if he rolls right like that. And the other way I can tell is that Link is facing on the first 2 rolls, basically directly in line with the 3rd scrub. So, like, see that? That's how I kind of know. And then it gives you lots of time to do the rest of the trick, even though I'm messing up. So this trick, yeah, very, very precise. I think it's useful to have the inputs on screen, but I'm really not providing a lot more information than Dr. M has, so I'll link to that tutorial if it's better, because that's where I learned how to do this. So yeah, that saves a few seconds. It's fast, it's difficult, it's something worth practicing, but that concludes this section of the Deku Tree and my any % tutorial. The next video will be looking at Goma and how to do all the, what's it called? Double KO method, where you have to burn the web and that type of stuff. And then finally, the wrong warp video will be the last part of the Deku Tree. And then I guess the last video in the series will be the collapse split and Ganon. So I hope you like this video. If you want to see more, obviously subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitch. I do lots of this type of stuff. And I'm running any % right now, and soon I'll be running any % no RP, no wrong warp. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this helped you learn something, even if it was a little crazy at times, especially with the ISG B1. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you later. If you like this video, you can check out any of the other parts of this tutorial series in this little annotation over here. And if you're bored and want a nice drinking game, every time I say "alright guys" in this video, drink and try not to die, because I say it a lot. Alright, so hope you had a good time. See you guys later. Thanks a lot.